Hey everybody, I will be talking about desalinization and how our ocean could possibly solve our water scarcity issues. If you're ever gonna be, if you're watching this and you're confused why I'm looking off to the side right here, it's because I have two monitors, one right here, which is recording on my laptop, and then I have one right here. I just recommend it. It's actually really helpful. So if you don't have a gaming monitor for gaming and schoolwork, get one. It's really helpful. So, sorry. Okay, so here's an outline of my presentation of what we're gonna be, going through. Obviously, we went to the title page. This is my outline page. We're gonna go through some background info and key issues and areas of focus with desalinization of our ocean water to help water scarcity. Then I'll kind of discuss like, what all this means and like, conclusion and everything like that. So as you see here, here's the important info you need to keep in mind. So approximately 25% of our population or 17 countries are actually facing extremely high water stress. This means that they're using more than 80% of their available water supply each year, and also about 4 billion people, so nearly two-thirds of the global population experience severe water scarcity for at least 1 month of the year. As you see here, this graph right here shows those areas right here, mainly in Africa, and this is India right here. So very, very North Africa, very, very south. That's Chile right there, and then India and actually Spain as well. So you wouldn't think that, but they are. So that's our background info. And here's our key issues and areas of focus, that I'm going to be going through. One of the things with water scarcity is the population growth as a whole. So populations grow, and so does the demand for water because there's more people. So more people are drinking. So the supply, however, does not grow typically. Also, we have climate factors, with climate change and other climate issues, with the seasons. It makes water very unpredictable, and the diminishing water from the ground, ice and snow, our fresh water supplies is diminishing and changing, which for some places that's their only source of water. So that's a real big problem. And of course, some people have a lack of data and resources. That's just natural with third world countries. Some parts of the world lack well-developed water monitoring systems, so they might not even know that the water that they're drinking is not good. So that's a big problem, obviously, that needs to be changed. Um, so here's my research findings right here. So studies have gone about the problem of water scarcity in many different ways, but the main focus really has been, how can we use our ocean's water? Because obviously with our planet, mostly the surface of the planet being water, it's like, well, why don't we just use the water? And it's like, well, we can't drink it because it has all the salt in it, um, and other problems with it. So one study has looked into the use of chlorine. So the residual disinfectant chlorine was found to dissipate significantly throughout the network, reducing its effectiveness in controlling microbial growth. Despite chlorination, the study observed a zero point 0.5 to 1.5 increase in bacterial cell concentrations at various points within the distribution network. So basically, and it's like pathogens that they're finding are growing back with the use of chlorine as a disinfectant. Um, and it's indicating microbial regrowth during the distribution of the water with this study that I found, and like biofilms are being developed in the pathogen. It basically chlorine isn't really getting the job done. Like I mean, we use it for swimming pools, but as for cleaning our water supply, not a great option. Electrically driven membrane the process is it's designed to function independently, and it's suitable for areas lacking infrastructure. It utilizes a advanced electrically driven membrane process to desalinate the seawater. So I actually have this picture right here of the actual contraption that was used in this study. It's really helpful to like see the visual. And it's really awesome because it's, it weighs less than 10 kilograms. And it makes it really easily transportable. You can just pick this thing up, move it where you need to, move it by the seashore, and uh, and clean the water and put it in I don't know if y'all can see this, but this kind of like gallon looking thing right here. It helps these places and regions that don't have clean drinking water, but also don't have um, they might not have the infrastructure to, build big things like we do. It's really cool to like see a small scale way to get clean drinking water be so available. Um, Obviously there's problems with this as well because it's so small, but also, it's great to have the more options you have, better off you are. So I keep doing that. So continuing with my research findings. Reverse osmosis. If you've gone to the store and have bought a water bottle, a plastic water bottle, chances are the water that you've drank has been through a reverse osmosis filter and system. That's because it is very reliable. The reverse osmosis system, when optimized for pressure, temperature, uh, the feed concentration, and the flow rate, effectively desalinated the water to meet the World Health Organization's drinking water standards. This one study supports the feasibility of using reverse osmosis membranes for safe, high quality drinking water from seawater. So not only is it great to, take stuff like our groundwater or even like, our tap water. So if you look into it, you can actually install reverse osmosis filters into your sink as well. So once again, using this system for seawater works wonders. Just continuing that desalination, particularly through reverse osmosis, is a vital solution for addressing global water scarcity. Now there is one thing. So environmental and energy related challenges have to be addressed. All right. So this goes with any innovation in general. The more we innovate, the more we have to be conscious of how it's going to affect everybody, how it's going to affect our environment, because it's like we don't want to cause more problems than we fix, because that just gets us nowhere. And then also I found a thermal like a thermal way of desalinating the water. So it has this solar collector, all right, and it's made of like an aluminum sheet and a reflective mylar film formed to make it like a parabolic shape, all right, like a parabola, I don't know, parabola for math. Then it's painted black, because it absorbs more heat that way on a copper pipe at the focal point. It absorbs solar heat. It is then covered with a glass sheet to retain that heat. All right. I don't know if y'all heated something up with that's made of glass, but it keeps that thing inside of it really hot and warm. We think of baking dishes and stuff like that. The condon and it also minimizes the wind disturbance, which wind will cool stuff off. It's why you blow stuff when you take it off. To get your food good. It also has a condensation chamber that contains a coiled copper tubing inside a plastic pot filled with a like kind of like sand water coolant that covers the vapor back into sorry, it converts the vapor back into a liquid. That's just, we don't want to waste anything when we're doing this, because the more efficient we can make it, then the more water we can produce, the more water people can drink. And the final part of that thermal low cost filtration system is is the charcoal filters. There's many filters like that. I personally own a Berkey filter that uses a charcoal filter that distills the water and balances the minerals to make it better for drinking. I put my tap water into the Berkey filter, makes it better. I think there are better filters, but it's just more cost efficient for me at the moment to use a Berkey filter. So this is actually a great thing to look into, salt water or not. So just kind of like discussing like the main things with this study. It's going to be really important to weigh options with many of these places that have water scarcity issues. It's very key to see these many people doing this research and to apply the best possible tactic. Because, like I said, some places might need to, they can't apply reverse osmosis and they can't build these great big places. So something like the electrical charged membranes are going to be more efficient for them and to, get something smaller scale. Or they might just not need it. They might not have all these people to do, need that. So with less water, there's less of a need. Now, as like I said, one of the big problems is with the population growth. As those populations grow, they're going to need more water. So it's all, and it's all a matter of economics. Economics changes a lot of things, when you can really get a business booming and, any place that's gonna bring more people, just think of Texas in general, the Plano area, the Waxahachie area, it's just booming. Even Bullard to an extent, is really starting to grow in Tyler. Um, and all that population growth needs more. We need more. When we have more people, we need more things to help those people. And just once again, reverse osmosis has just proven to be just really the most reliable way to create drinkable water. It's like, no need to really reinvent the wheel here. Reverse osmosis does a great job. And even here. But it's really good that we do have more options, because the more, like I said earlier in my talk, the more options we have, the better off we are. Because, when you have more options, you have more opportunities to win. If other ways are taken away, that's okay because we have plan B, C, D, E, and etc. So. My conclusion, just many people are really unaware of how many ways we can actually use salt water or ocean water to create drinkable water. So really, we're chilling if we really think about it. Just so many people are uneducated and unaware. So that's really the biggest thing is to make this more available, get more people on this to help battle water scarcity because obviously water is one of the most needed resources for all people for many reasons. It helps us clean, it helps us drink and be hydrated, it helps us to create, it helps everything. So water scarcity is one of our biggest issues, and thankfully because of how many options we have, we can, go out and tell people about it and start to make a difference about it. So here's my references, just many great references, people from Malaysia, people from India, all sorts of different resources. And once again, just showing how this is a global issue and it's getting global attention and it needs to continue to get this attention. So thank you so much for watching my presentation. Really grateful for all of y'all. And this class has been really awesome. So.